Describe image. Common mistakes. In Describe image, you will see a graph, a chart, a table, or something similar. You will have 25 seconds for preparation. Then, you will speak about the image for 40 seconds. In Describe image tasks, what are some common mistakes to avoid? Giving unfocused descriptions and giving ineffective conclusions and summaries. Let's look at these in more detail. Common mistake 1. Unfocused descriptions. Listen to this test taker. Why is their description unfocused?
So basically, lots of Australian teenagers were working, especially females. Probably this is the case in other countries too. Where I live, more women work than men. Lots of over 50s in Australia weren't working. Probably, maybe because they don't want to anymore.
The description is unfocused because, firstly, it doesn't start with an overview of the data. It immediately begins talking about the teenagers column. Give an introduction that deals with the image as a whole. Use a sentence like,
The graph shows the proportion of Australians working or studying by gender and age group for the year 2019.
Next, the unfocused description doesn't use details to support its points. It uses imprecise terms like lots rather than factual data. Use the data available. In this case, the graph has percentages. Use a sentence like,
This number fell gradually to just over 40% for the over 50 age group.
Finally, the unfocused description gives personal opinions.
Where I live, more women work than men. Lots of over 50s in Australia weren't working. Probably, maybe because they don't want to anymore.
Stick to the data in the image. To avoid an unfocused description, it's also important to give a good summary. However, summaries can often be ineffective. Common mistake 2. Ineffective summaries. Listen to this test taker's summary. Why is it ineffective?
In summary, the 20 to 29 age group also worked or studied in Australia. I wonder what the graph would look like in 2029.
It is an ineffective summary because it doesn't reflect what information will be most valuable or most interesting. The speaker gets distracted by other details. Ask yourself, what would be the most significant implication of the image for most people? In this case, an example would be,
Overall, above the age of 20, more men were in full-time employment or education than women.
Another reason the other speaker's summary is ineffective is because it doesn't show key relationships between data. It focuses on one age group rather than all of them. Link together data. Compare and contrast. Use a sentence like,
There was a higher percentage of males working or studying compared to females for all age groups except for teenagers.
To avoid giving an unfocused description, give a clear introduction, use precise data, avoid personal opinions, Give a summary. To avoid an ineffective summary, focus on the most significant information. Link, compare, and contrast data. For more sample answers and expert feedback, go to the digital resources. To practice this task for yourself, go to the online question bank.